During the week, when we were having a live session, there was a mother who was really having a heavy heart because she was left pregnant with 2 kids by her husband, and that man was now together with her niece, right? So when she called, she was, like her husband left her for her sister's daughter, right? And she was pregnant. So when she was talking, her heart was heavy, But the one thing that she emphasized was that she just wants to live for her kids. She just wants to live for her kids. And for me, it was so painful to say that, listen, it's so sad that at some point in your life, you might have to put your life on hold to live for other human beings. Human beings that you are supposed to be loving with your heart, now you are their slave because of situations that happen to people in life, right? So, that's why I did a little YouTube video, and I titled it, I Live With My Kids, Not For My Kids. So that is why today I'm going to talk about my mother's dream. A lot of us are seated here because the minute we became mothers, we put our dreams on hold. And we said that we're going to focus on motherhood. How did we know that when we become mothers, we focus on motherhood? That's what we've been subconsciously taught. Because we've seen our mothers putting their lives on hold to become mothers to us. If you ask your mother right now to say, Mama, what would you have preferred to be if I was not here, if you were never married to my father? She would have been something else. But then, because of how she has been raised and how her subconscious mind works, she has been trained to believe that when you become a mother, everything comes last, including yourself. And when everything comes last, including yourself, your cup runs dry. And when your cup runs dry, you are of no use to your kids when you are dead. So it sounds so selfish. Going back to me claiming to be the CEO of Self-Love, you would understand that my talks are usually about you just loving yourself as an individual, loving yourself more than anybody else out there, so that when you love yourself, you are self-sufficient enough to give other people. Because like I said, that I'm one person that wears her heart on her sleeves, and the very same heart that I wear on my sleeve is the very same heart that God has given us to love one another. But the very same heart that God has given us to love one another is the very same heart that is getting bruised every day by life. And instead of us healing the heart and doing what it's supposed to do, which is loving one another, we are bleeding on one another. So we never take our time to say, this heart that God gave me to love with, which is now bruised, which must heal so that I can continue loving with it, we continue bleeding with it and calling that love, because I'm not about to show people that I'm bleeding. So I'm gonna go back to my mother's dream. So as a mother, you put your dreams on hold, right? And then you focus on being the best mother you can be for yourself. It's even worse for us because as a working mother, you need to prove yourself that, because we are way past the patriarchal era, you must prove that you can be a mother who's a CEO, you can come back and cook, you can come back and bath the kids, and do everything that mothers used to do in the ancient days, and still prove yourself to be a CEO in the office. So that means that now you have double the pressure that our grandmothers had, because they didn't have to prove anything. They just had to be mothers and focus on motherhood. But now you have to be a mother, you have to be a boss, you need to prove that no, being a mother is not a problem for me, so I can be a mother and be a wife and be a boss and not complain about it, because when you complain about it, then that means that you are failing as a mother, then you should belong in the kitchen. So for you not to belong in the kitchen where you initially were, you need to not complain about it no matter how painful it is. So going back to my mother's dream, living my mother's dream. As a mother, you put your life on hold, you put your visions, your dreams on hold, and you say, I'm going to focus on raising these kids, right? And then when you're done raising these kids, you know what you do as a mother? Instead of you chasing your dream to become a doctor, you say, you're gonna become the doctor that I failed to become because I gave birth to you. So now what that does to you as the mother who never fulfilled her dreams is that you feel entitled. Because as parents, we believe that we own our kids, right? So much that we can hit them, we can do whatever. That is why a lot of abuse that we endure as people comes from our family members. Your mother can beat you up, but if your teacher beats you up, then your teacher is abusing you and they must open a case. But because it is your mother who's beating you up, then it's well within her rights because she gave birth to you. So those rights also go to a point where when she has now failed to live her dream because subconsciously she's been taught that as a mother you put your dreams on hold and you focus on growing these people that they will build a home for you, they will build a house for you, they will help you give birth to as many kids as you possibly can. They will take care of you. And you ask the person who does not have a kid to say, so who are you going to send to the shops? So who's going to help you when you are older? Who's going to build for you? Because we have that subconscious thing to say that when we give birth to kids, our kids are little slaves. They become our little slaves and they don't become what God has intended them to become. Because God says, the Bible says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. When, what's his name? I haven't been to church for a while. Jeremiah. Yeah. Thank you, my sister. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. And I set you apart, right? So, with you being set apart in your mother's womb without your mother's consent to say this is how your destiny is going to become, that is between you and God, right? But then when you come here and God has trusted your mother to say you are going to mold and cherish and groom this child the best way with the knowledge and the wisdom that I have given you and the instincts that I have given you as a mother to raise this child. But instead of doing that, when you then say, listen, on top of all of that, I appreciate that God knew you and formed you and everything, but you're going to become the doctor that I failed to become. Because somebody has to become a doctor and it's a vision, it's a dream of mine, and I didn't persuade it, not because anybody put a gun to my head and said, don't persuade this dream of becoming a doctor, but because it's a subconscious thing that mothers think is the right thing to do for you to put your dreams on hold when you have a child. So, as kids, we grow older, we live our mother's dreams, we get approval from our mothers even when we are older. You are 30 years old, but your mother tells you, no, you're not going to leave that toxic marriage that you're in. Nobody in my family has ever left a toxic marriage. We stay here. And you stay, meaning that you live your mother's dream even beyond the age where you can decide for yourself. Because I believe that everybody who goes to work, who goes to home affairs, is old enough to make decisions for themselves. But we continue living our mother's dreams because they could not live those dreams for themselves. And where now you have to live your dream, you give birth to a child. You know what happens when you give birth to a child? The cycle continues. Your child is now going to live the dream that you didn't live because you were busy living your mother's dream, and that cycle continues. And that's what I'm here about today. To say that as a mother, you do not live for your kids. You live with your kids. I love what Puti was saying when she was talking about how there's a certain percentage that you should dedicate to yourself when it comes to whatever it is that you're doing, because you also deserve that much, right? And you should get paid, right? But a lot of us, mothers, because of our motherly instinct and what we have been taught as mothers, you go to the shop and you say, listen, I need a new pair of shoes, I need underwear. But you come back buying everything for everybody else except for you. And you are so proud of that. You know, my friend, Yazdi, these people, I went to the shops, I bought for everybody else, I didn't buy anything for myself, and you think that's a flex, and it's not. For those who don't know this slang, flex means something to be proud of. Sorry about that. Yeah. So you think that is a flex for you to actually put everybody else before you, and then when you grow older and the kids that we are giving birth to, they are woke now. My 2000, they are woke. They will tell you, listen, I don't subscribe. I'm not going to live according to your standards. I'm not going to do things the way that you used to do things. I'm not going to be the doctor that you didn't become. I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to be a YouTuber like Madam Speaker. You get what I'm saying? And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, Mara, what kind of child did I give birth to? Because the way that I was raised, I was taught when my mother says to me, you're not going to become this, you're going to become that. My mother knows best. But remember, your mother knows best, but your mother is mothering you with a bleeding heart. And she's bleeding on you because she had to put her dreams on hold so that she can nourish and cherish and just be the best mother that she can be for you. And there's pressure because there are spectators who are watching, looking at your mother saying, we want to see her fail as a mother. Because she says, she can work. She can be this Mrs. South Africa finalist. You want to work. You want to be a mother. You want to be a businesswoman. All at the same time, you want to see. So they're waiting for you to fail. And then because you allow them, you absorb all of that pressure that is coming from the outside. You enable all of that. You give an ear to all of that. And when you're done, you become a very bitter mother. And today in the morning, I saw a comment from somebody who was saying that my mother hates me because she's bitter, because she always reminds me how she had to put her life on hold so that I can go to school, so that I can have everything that I have. And that's where we're gonna get to the very, very, very common thing amongst us, especially people of color, black tax. That's where you get to pay for your mother birthing you for the rest of your life. Not because you asked your mother to birth you, but because subconsciously she's been taught that when she gives birth to you, then you are going to owe her because she put her life on hold. I beg your pardon? Yeah, it's an investment. I'm going to put my life on hold so that you have the life that I didn't have. So you must pay me back after I have put my life on hold for you. Ma'am, did I ask you to put your life on hold for me? No. So what you're going to do now, you're going to unlearn. You're going to unlearn how to not live for your kids, but with your kids, understanding that you take principle over your kids. Your well-being means that your kids' well-being. Because a lot of mothers, you know, when you look on social media, skits that are done about African households, it's always about shouting. It's always about beating each other up. It's always about something violent. Because all of that on a human being is a lot. So what good a use are you as a mother if you're going to put your life on hold because you want to cherish your kids and raise your kids in a way that society expects you to do it? But then you're a bitter mother, you're a mother who's always angry, you're a mother that your kids can't even crack a joke with you because, listen, you put your dream on hold, an entire dream. And then on top of you putting your dream on hold, this child, how dare you, when a child of mine, when I put my dream on hold for you, you don't become what I wanted to become and I failed because of you. So you sit there, bitter, angry, and asking yourself, oh, no matter God, do you hate me that much? No, God does not hate you. God knew what he was doing when he put that child in your womb. It was not up to you to decide what this child is going to become. When your job on this earth is to make sure that you provide for this child, you teach this child values. There's a topic that I had the other day with somebody where I was talking about how, I think it's Evie, where we're talking about how sometimes you can complain about your mother and you say, yo, my mother didn't do this for me, my mother did that for me, but in as much as you feel like what your mother gave you is garbage, she gave you the best garbage that she found, right? And there's a great woman called Iana who says that she never knew love from her father. Her father never hugged her. And she didn't understand until her father passed away and she had to live with her grandmother. Then she understood why her father never hugged her, because her grandmother never hugged her. He knew love the way that her grandmother showed her father. Then after the father passed away, then she understood, okay, this man only loved me the best way that he knows how. So it's up to you to unlearn all the stuff that your mother understood as love and gave it to you to say, I'm gonna filter this out and this is what I'm gonna keep for myself. But a lot of us make a mistake to say, listen, we're going to continue because this is the way of doing things. There's nothing wrong with changing or challenging the status quo. I'm one person who challenges the status quo on a daily basis. One day you're gonna like me. I can tell you now, if you like me today, tomorrow you might not like me because of the way that I challenge the status quo. But the one thing that I'm not going to do is to become a slave of any system or anybody, including my kids. So you as a mother today, whether you are a mother to kids who are alive, whether you are a mother to angels, whether you are a mother because your sister has kids, or you are a mother in the community, I need you to understand that out of your belly should flow rivers of living water. Rivers of living waters are not going to come in from other people, from other places. They're supposed to flow from the inside of you. How are you going to be a good mother? How are you going to be a mother that is fulfilling and that is sufficient when you are not self-sufficient? Where is the sufficiency supposed to come from? Because a lot of us pray for things that are supposed to be coming from the inside of us. You get what I'm saying? To say that it is very, very simple for you to just let the waters which are on the inside of you flow and be conscious and be self-aware to say when you are around or you are going back to your old habits that force you to go back to suppressing yourself, to oppressing yourself, to making yourself be last. You need to say, listen, it's now time for me to wake up. It's now time for me to redirect. It's now time for me to do what is right for me. I need you to understand that as a mother, you are just as important as your child. And today, I want to challenge you to say, if you say you are going to do something for yourself, there's nothing wrong with you needing some me time as a mother. It doesn't mean that you hate your kids. And I know that people are going to make you feel like, yo, you are such a terrible mother. What kind of a mother are you? You are sitting here, you are eating. Well, do you know what your kids ate? There is no way God can trust you with kids because you are not capable. And when people question your capability as a mother, that is just to shake you, to make you now start believing things about yourself that are not true. And when you're not confident in yourself and your capabilities, that's where you fumble. The food is nice, guys. Ne? Why did they give you food while I'm talking, ma'am? Yeah, so basically, that is next. Oh yeah, I don't know if maybe I can join it together with the Q&A to say if anybody has a question whatsoever, they should just go ahead and ask me. Question. But I need you to understand when you go back home that you are very, very important, and that you matter, and you come first. Because when you are okay, your kids are okay. When you are not okay, you become a frustration even to your kids, because your kids can tell that you're not okay. There's a mother that I recently spoke to when we were touching on the topic of how mothers just vent a lot on Father's Day, but Mother's Day is very peaceful because no fathers have drama. She was saying that her kid hates her. Her kid is 2 years old and she doesn't stay with the kid, but every time when she goes home, the kid wants nothing to do with her. And all she wanted was what is best for the child, because when she grew up, her parents were there for her financially and none other way. They were only there for her financially. And she wants to be a mother that is there for a child more than just her being there financially. But she's repeating the cycle, because even now, she is there financially because she's not staying with the child. And the reason why she had that child is because she succumbed to the pressure of saying, if you don't have a baby by the time you are 30, then your eggs are going to rot. You are barren if you don't have a baby by the age of 30. Yeah. So she fell to that pressure and she had a baby. And she was not ready for that baby. Now she had to send the baby away. And as she's sitting right now, she is in distress because she feels like the baby hates her because she's not available. And she's beating herself up a lot to say she's repeating the same thing that her parents did, because her parents sent her to boarding school. They were there for her financially, but they were never really there for her. And I said to her, listen, when you get there, your child can really sense that you are not in a good space. Your child can really sense that you are really, really not comfortable with this whole parenthood thing. I need you to take it easy on yourself, accept that I'm a parent now, and start dealing with, just forgive yourself for whatever decision that you have made, and allow yourself and give yourself a chance to be the best mother that you can be without copying the next person. So that when you are done with that, you don't have to blame anybody else and say that, it's because of you that my child is spoiled, it's because of you that this happened, it's because of this and that. So even when you are the best mother that you can be for yourself, you take yourself to a spa. Only one. You just go to the spa, or you go wherever you feel like you need to go. You say to your kids, you know what, kids, just give me 30 minutes. I just want to, I just want some time to myself. That doesn't make you a bad mother. It makes you a mother that's going to be pleasant around your kids. A lot of us are carrying stresses. We are carrying heavy loads. And guess who is the common denominator that we're taking these loads on, because there's nobody else? Your kids. Because your kids are the ones that can't defend themselves when you throw anything at them. Because you can get away with telling your kids a whole lot of horrible things because you are angry and they can't say anything back to you. But the time when you are busy telling them all these horrible things, they are absorbing. They are absorbing all the stuff that you are saying to them. And in 10 years, 20 years down the line, when they say to you, well, now you don't really like me, you say, Mara, what did I do, God, to deserve such a child? You forgot that when you were supposed to be taking care of yourself and putting yourself first so that you can be the best mother, the best version of a mother to your kids, you were busy trying to prove a point. Yeah, I think. Oh, we have a question at long last.